Good morning, Greg here, burning both ends, burning on the front end of May 21st, 2018. Last day in Westport, Connecticut for those that are just watching this video only. I've been up in the Northeast from Albany, California for the weekend and celebrate my dad's 75th birthday. I'm here with my brother at his house in Westport, Connecticut. We're having a great time, so today is the last day. After this post, I'm gonna roll back inside. We're gonna have delicious breakfast, and I've broken my paleo diet for the weekend because of all the pizza and all the excitement. I don't think I could have kept it, but I'm back on the diet today, so just gonna do some bacon and eggs, get that fat content way up, get that carb count way down. So excited to get back into that. And this weekend's been all about gratitude. There's a bug here. Gratitude for my family, gratitude for my parents, for my dad, for my brother, for his family. And yesterday I was talking with my wife, and I was realizing how much effort it takes to take care of the two kids while I'm gone, and I really appreciate that. And that leads us to tonight's topic. But before I get to that real quick, one of the awesome things about what I'm doing right now with this channel, I have my Ense profile going, my Ense platform, which is this voice-based kind of like social platform. It's kind of like Twitter, but just your voice. I love Ense. I would totally check it out, Ense. Check it out. You can get it for iPhone or Android. Fantastic platform. And then I'll be rolling out an Instagram probably next month. Just want to kind of get the YouTube channel, get the whole process refined for posting 2 videos a day. And so I'm just in process right now with that. But the cool thing about what I'm doing right now is this creating content by just documenting what's happening, and that's I'm really enjoying that. And so this weekend is like no other weekend I've ever experienced. Because it's just really cool that I'm with my dad, with my brother, and it's just the 3 of us, doing our thing. But also I've been documenting things. I've been capturing some audio, obviously a lot of video, a lot of ensing about what's been going on. And so I'll be able to look back months from now and really understand and see what we did specifically, which I think would be really cool. Because a lot of times we think that we're going to remember, at least for me, I think I'm going to remember and I forget, and I don't write things down, and then it becomes just a blur. Hopefully I got pictures to document, but this weekend's been documented really well, and I have to say, huge shout out to Gary V. Gary V got me started on this path, just document what you're doing. I've been doing that, and I've really been appreciating it, enjoying doing it. It's a lot of fun. So I think that's a big deal. It doesn't seem like labor. It seems like just fun and exciting, and I get to be creative, and so I'm really loving it. So now back to the wife. I really appreciate her taking care of the kids to let me go on this trip. And so today's topic is the top 10 awesome things about my wife. And I've really been digging making these lists. I made one for my dad, one for my brother, one for New York City. And so I really feel empowered when I make these lists, because it just gets me thinking about all these wonderful things. And I really like it. And once again, the list is in the order that I think about it. And like I said, it's like making a mixtape. It starts off strong, and then it gets into like some really interesting things, and then it ends really powerfully. And I really like that. So let's kick off into it. So number 1, when I first met my wife, she was doing yoga teacher training, and then she did an advanced teacher training. So she knows a lot about yoga, a lot about the body, a lot about muscles, a lot about stretching, breathing, and it was really cool to see her go through that process. These were intense trainings, especially the advanced. I mean, the amount of reading, the amount of work that she had to put in was just, it was just daunting. And to see her go through that, to see her just crush it was awesome. And then she rolled out of that and she started teaching yoga classes. And when you first start teaching these yoga classes, they usually give you like kind of the crummy spot. And I think she had like a 6 a.m. class, which can be tough when you're just starting out. But she's just started out. She put the time in. She built the following, and I have to say I really enjoyed. I was supporting her, going to her classes. I really enjoyed seeing her in that space. She was really powerful in that space, and she attracted quite a following, and I was really impressed with that. The other thing about yoga, right? So we got married, we got pregnant, and she was even still teaching yoga at about, I think, 7 months pregnant. 7, like way late in the game, she was still doing, she wasn't doing all the stretches, but she was still, this is a 90-minute session, so this is no joke. It was hot yoga. She was still doing it. She was still crushing it, and really respect her for that. Just, putting in the work in, putting the work in for the other people just to give them a really good yoga experience. And then also when we first met, she was primarily vegetarian, and so she taught me a whole bunch of really awesome vegetarian recipes. I really appreciated that. Peanut sauce, some tofu, quinoa, a lot of awesome recipes. And she introduced me to some things that nutritional yeast, things that I never really knew existed because I'm primarily a meat eater. So I really appreciated that, learning some new recipes. I love cooking, as you will find out, and maybe you have already found out. So as far as find out by listening to other posts, that is, not by talking to other people. Also, when we were living in Baltimore, we biked around together quite a bit. I really like the fact that she likes to bike around. We do that a lot in Albany. It's just a different type of person that likes to bike as opposed to want to drive everywhere. And I will admit, when we moved to Florida, we had to almost drive everywhere exclusively. A, because it's so hot, and B, Florida is just not set up for biking as much. A lot of concrete jungles, and in fact, I remember seeing for the first time in Florida signs that said like no walking. It was kind of like no pedestrians. Kind of interesting, I guess, because of the crazy traffic at certain places. So really dug the fact that she likes to bike and that we still bike together and our kids bike, and so we do a lot of that, which is great. Now, just back to the vegetarian piece, the really cool thing is that she was open to trying some meat recipes because I love to cook, and I was doing a lot of grilling and marinating and things like that. So she was open to eating meat. And what's interesting is that she kind of switched, especially when she got pregnant and realized the importance of things like iron and protein in the diet and how much easier it is to get those things with meat. So she was really open to eating some meat, and now some of her two favorite foods are wings and ribs, which is interesting because I know even a lot of meat eaters that don't really like being reminded that they're eating an animal, right? When you're eating a rib or a wing, your teeth are hitting bone and this is an animal. I know some people that just put the chicken there, just chicken breast only, no skin, no bone. I don't even want to know it's an animal. Just cook it completely and I'll eat it. But so it's kind of funny or fun to see her really dig those types of meals. And there's a funny story that goes with the ribs. I was getting into making ribs, went to this website called AmazingRibs.com. I highly recommend it. And when we first moved in to Berkeley from Baltimore, I think it was our very first, maybe our second, it was our second Christmas there. So this is like, I think 2011. So our daughter was, just almost a year old. So she was just walking around. And I made ribs for Christmas. And we remember her walking around with a rib bone, using it as a tool to like flip switches and turn things on. And then we found a bunch of bones like under her crib like months later that she had stored for herself, little rib bones. It was just very cute and very funny. That's just one of those memories that's just burned in my head. Let's see what else we got here. Number 7, right? So open to eating meat was number 6. Number 7. Right, so we have two kids. I was really impressed. She totally owned both her pregnancies. She just took control of them. She went out, she got help. She had, we did midwives for both. We didn't do hospitals. We did a birthing center for the first one in Oakland. The second one, she birthed in our house. We did a water birth. And we had midwives and doulas. Of course, we had doctors, but the real focus was the midwife to give the guidance. And I really really respected her for how she approached these pregnancies. She really trusted these people. They gave her great attention. She was learning. She was really focusing on her diet, and she just totally owned them. And just a lot of respect for her during that time. I can't imagine what that's like. As a man, I'm just in a complete support role. I kind of have. As much as I could pay attention, I still really have no clue what's going on because of all these body changes and these biological changes. So just really honor her for that work, because I can't imagine what that's like, but watching her, I know it's tough work. And so that's number 7. And then number 8, she also really owns her role as a mother. She really takes a lot of proactive steps to make sure that we're doing things right, we're looking at things, I don't want to say right, but in a well-researched positive way, right? How we address food with our girls, how we address discipline with our girls, and we spend a lot of time working on this stuff because it's a constantly changing game, and so we have to, at least I find, we have to constantly refine what we're doing so we can stay on top of that game. So I really respect her as a mother and the role that she takes on there. That is a tough role. It's a lot different than being a father. It's just the biological connection. I've hit on this before. It's just apples and oranges. I'll never quite know the connection that she has with the child since she created the child in her body and then ejected it and then nourished it for at least a year. I mean, we did do breastfeeding, and so I can never even come close to that experience because I'm, as a man, I'm just somewhat detached biologically from the child. Of course, I love my children, but it's just a whole different thing, and just respecting that space and honoring her for. I can't imagine how tough it is to have some little version of me latching onto me literally for nourishment. I mean, it's a crazy concept to deal with. And okay, number 9. This is interesting because we've done a lot of moving since Baltimore. So it was Baltimore to Berkeley, to Titusville, Florida, which is near Kennedy Space Center, to Sarasota, Florida, and then back to Albany. And then now that we've been back to Albany, we've moved twice in Albany. We had one starter home, and now we moved into a larger home that I think we're going to stay in for quite some time. And all these places, Berkeley, Titusville, Sarasota, and now Albany twice. My wife has been the primary person that's gone after real estate and gone after rentals and found places. And she's been, let's see, Berkeley, Titusville, 4 for 4. Is that 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 for 5. Sorry, can't count this morning. 5 for 5 with finding awesome, incredible places. I mean, every house has been phenomenal. Of course, the houses in Florida were enormous and beautiful. The houses in Berkeley and Albany are also awesome, but a little smaller. But still, just phenomenal locations, phenomenal landlords, phenomenal houses. I mean, and I give her all the credit for that because while I'm sitting there doing my entrepreneurial thing, she's out there looking at houses, calling people, arranging things, keeping me in the loop because we have to work together once we find one that we want to jump on, and I actually remember being in Titusville when she drove to Sarasota, which is about 2 hours, to see a house. And when she got there and she's driving back and she's texting me about how excited she is, and that was a great house in Sarasota. And now the house we're in right now, I don't know how she found it, but it took her over, I think, 9 or 10 months, maybe even a year, of watching Craigslist on a regular basis, watching houses, watching price points, seeing what's renting for what's dropping off the market, what's staying on the market. Incredible research. And she jumped on this house. The price started off at one price point, dropped, and then she jumped on it, and we were like moving into the house in like a couple weeks. It was just phenomenal, and I love this house. This is where we have I have my garage and my office. Love it. All right, number 10, and this is the biggest one. She supports my drive and my goals by having no problem watching the kids when I go on my trips. Of course, I want to empower her, to leave the house, to leave the state, and go on trips of her own. And actually, she just went on a 5-day trip not too long ago, for the first time in quite some time. And but anyway, I just really appreciate her for that. The fact that she understands that I have this drive and I'm trying to do these things for our family, and and there are times when I just need some space to go out and do my thing, and she totally supports it. And I really appreciate her for that. So that's fantastic. So so those are the top 10 things, awesome things about my wife, and I'm just really excited about this new path that I'm on, that we're on. We've been in this new house in Albany since December, so it's still pretty fresh. Really enjoying where we're at right now, and just looking to just grow it and just make it better. So thanks for listening. Hope you appreciated the list. Go out and appreciate what you have. Show some gratitude to your wife, to your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your kids, your parents. I'd love to hear about it. Comment down below. I'd love to hear about your life's journey. That's the whole point of this. These are things that I'm revealing about my life that have produced success, things that I'm grateful for. I think that's a big piece of living a solid life, is being, is living in gratitude. I get that from Gary Vee. I get that from Tony Allen. Really, not Tony Allen. What's his name? Tony Robbins. Sorry, Tony Allen's a drummer. And yeah, so gratitude, big piece of my life. And yeah, let me know if I can help in your life's journey. I'd love to help. I want to be of service. I have a lot of tools, a lot of resources, a lot of problem solving skills. So throw a problem at me. I'll be happy to work on it for you. We can work on it together. And no beats today, but check out there's a link down in the description. My alter ego G Money writes drum beats and drum songs for drum sextets and quintets, so check it out. And then I've also linked some motivational videos down in the description. Check those out. Those have really inspired me this year to elevate my game. And that's what I got so far. So go out, have a great day, and I'll be getting on a plane. I'll probably do my second post from the airport because I don't get until late, so I'm probably going to do it mid-afternoon, East Coast time. And that's going to wrap the weekend. So I do have one awesome business meeting today, so I did set up a business meeting. I had one on the front end of the trip and now one on the back end. And so excited to see where this goes. And this is one of those business meetings where I know this gentleman's successful. He's a successful entrepreneur. I just want to meet him, want to talk out loud about what I'm doing and see what happens. I want to hear about his experience, capture some wisdom, and see if maybe we can work together, maybe not, who knows. We'll see where it goes. All right, y'all, have a good one.